Welcome back to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. The Steelers in a 24-3 lead of the Browns as we head to the second half. At the start of this telecast, was there some fellow who said this should be the best defensive game of the season?
I didn't hear it.
I swear was a guy to my left who looked just like you.
Well, it is on one side of the ball.
Yes, that's true. But the question is, are the Cleveland Browns capable of a comeback against a very tough Pittsburgh Steeler defensive unit? They have not had to be a comeback team this season. There are only two instances. They came back from 10-3 against Cincinnati in the first meeting with the Bengals and came back early in the game against Dallas.
Well, with Vinny Testaverde's arm, I think they can. But the thing about it is, Marv, he's got to be patient. I mean, extremely patient. Look at that first series. They had two drop passes. They were moving right on down the field. They've got to do that again.
By the return by Johnson. Charles Johnson, the rookie from Colorado, running for 18 yards. Let's check out the Coors Light halftime statistics.
Well, the most important thing that the Browns have to do, you see that 123 up there? They've got to stop the running game. They have to stop this running game, or at least slow it down a little bit, where the linebackers and the defensive line, the up front seven have to take over this football game. If they don't do that, this game is totally out of hand.
Barry Foster running for 99 yards on 16 carries in the first half. Neil O'Donnell 9 of 11, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Steelers first down at the 28-yard line, and it's right to the ground for Foster, and he's gang tackled. Pepper Johnson leading the assault. Pickup of a yard. It'll be a 2nd and 9. Pittsburgh Steelers finishing first in the AFC Central. That gave them a bye in the first round and home field advantage right throughout the playoffs. The Steelers did have home field advantage 2 years ago, and they lost to Buffalo in the very first game. Buffalo with Frank Wright filling in for the injured Jim Kelly. In fact, that score 2 years ago was 24-3, but in favor of the Bills. Second down play, and Mills making the adjustment to come up with the reception, covered by Tim Jacobs, and it is a Pittsburgh first down. That's good for 15.
Now, this pass was thrown to the inside, and you know, when you talk about adjustment, what you just said, watch the adjustment that Mills makes. He's looking to the outside. It's thrown to the inside. He makes the complete turn around, gets the ball, makes the play. Tim Jacobs is there. But you know, every time you see something like this, again, I'm telling you, Eric Green is the guy that makes it happen. When he runs down through the middle or down the seam, two people stay with him.
Steelers first down at their 44. The give to Foster. Found the hole. Very difficult to bring down. Turner and Griffin finally accomplished that feat.
You know, this is not a time to get in a fist fight, do all this stuff, because all you do is hurt your team. Get back in the huddle. If you're gonna say something, say it with play. Hit somebody. Make some contact. Foster's running through this team like there really is not anybody there. Take a look at this run by Foster. It ends up to be, what, about an 7 or 8 yard run? Here comes Foster. The block is there. One missed tackle. Now, the tackle's there by Turner. But it takes 4 guys to bring Barry Foster down.
And Foster did go for 18 carries, 108 yards. And we're just getting underway in the third quarter. Second down and 2 for the Steelers. Foster has the first down. Sent back the other way by Eric Turner, although the Browns are claiming that they stole the ball. The question is, was Foster down?
The officials are saying Foster was down. Right at about the 44-yard line, the officials already said the man was down. Now they'll talk.
It's ruled. Forward progress is ruled.
I mean, this is the one I don't understand. Forward progress is ruled. That means he was stopped? Not Barry Foster. Take a look at, he goes inside here. Here's Foster. He's hit by Turner, 29. Turner reaches in and pulls the ball out. Now that's a fumble. I'm sorry, folks, but that is a fumble. The man takes the ball away. That's what you're supposed to do.
So it wasn't a question of whether he was down. That's what the Steelers were indicating. His forward progress was stopped. And that ended the play. And it's a first down for the Steelers at the Browns. 44. O'Donnell looking right and throwing left. And it's incomplete. Don Griffin on the coverage. Chauncey Thigpen.
Don Griffin almost misjudged this ball because Thigpen goes up in between it. It's almost shades of the second game. Watch Thigpen here. Here's Griffin. He sees the ball coming. All right, instead of coming back to the ball, he goes forward. Thigpen almost makes the catch. Heads up play by the offense. Griffin is lucky here because he really doesn't get his hand on the ball. Thigpen drops it.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line. Steelers 24 and the Browns 3. 3.5 gone by in the third. A delay by Foster did not fool the Browns. Frank stands, the outside linebacker, there to make the stop.
Delayed draw. That was the ugliest play they've run today. They went back there, and it's like Foster said, what are you giving this thing to me for? Watch this play. He goes back, yellow down, it's a draw. Foster gets it. There's just no place to go. Frank Stamms, outside linebacker, stays outside, takes Foster down for a 2-yard loss. That's good play.
It's a 3rd down and 12 at the 46-yard line. Thigpen is flanked to the left, Mills to the right. Goes incomplete. The pass intended for John L. Williams coming out of the backfield. So the punting unit will come on. Mark Royals with only his 2nd punt of the game.
This is what Cleveland had to do. This first drive, shut it down. Now, that's step 1. Step 2, you've got to score a touchdown. And right away.
You saw Mark Carrier dropping back. He's at his 12-yard line. Return it. Brings across the 25-yard line. A 39-yard punt, 11-yard return. Willie Williams making the tackle on Mark Carrier.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Bud Bowl 7. This year, it's going to be a whole new ball game. By Magnavox. Hey, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart. And by Domino's Pizza. Call now and order new buffalo wings, and we'll deliver them with your pizza. It's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Capacity crowd better than 59,000 on hand, and they have certainly enjoyed what they have seen to this point. The Steelers 24, the Browns 3. Browns back to the offense, and it's completed to Keenan McCardle. That's his first catch of the day. McCardle in his 3rd year out of Nevada, Las Vegas, on a 21-yard pass play. Lloyd and Bell make the stop, and the Browns now working the clock. Go to the hurry-up.
Then they have to score right away, and this is the way to do it.
And it's to the ground from Metcalf. Eric Metcalf with his first carry.
Now, according to Dom Capers, when Metcalf is in the backfield by himself, it is a passing situation. They just ran one play. This is to keep the defense honest. They'll go right back to throwing the football.
The defensive coordinator, Dom Capers, the future head coach of the expansion Carolina Panthers. Testaverde able to elude the sack and then goes incomplete. A nifty move by Vinny Testaverde, eluding Brenston Buckner.
Testaverde can feel it from the backside. Watch this. At the backside, you can't see. Here they come in. Over the top.
And check that. Chad Brown, the man who nearly got to Testaverde. Chad Brown, the man who Steeler teammates felt should have made the Pro Bowl. Another strong game today for Brown. It's a 3rd down and 6. That one sailed high and far over Michael Jackson and over the cover man, Deion Figures.
Well, Michael Jackson stopped. Vinny Testaverde threw the ball deep and out of bounds. That's a good part of the play. But the pass wasn't even close. Deion Figures is down there. Watch this. They got short and deep. They go downfield, and the throw is made, and it's over his head because Michael Jackson stopped.
And now here's Tom Tupa running away to Rod Woodson. And takes the good hop at the 5-yard line. That'll go down as a 44-yard punt. 10:27 remaining in the third. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. Hannah Storm, Will McDonough working the sidelines. 4.5 minutes gone by third quarter, and the Steelers take over at their 6. They lead the Browns 24-3. Play action. O'Donnell able to connect with John L. Williams in the flat. He's stopped by Frank Stamps. Here's a unique illustration for you in that it's cartoon-like, Paul. I know you can relate to this.
I love pictures. This looks like the rushing. Look at 9 rushes to the left, 12 to the middle, and 7 to the right. You're spreading the ball all over the place. And another thing, on first down, 15 rushes on first down, 5 passes. And they're not going to do anything, Pittsburgh, they're not going to do anything stupid down here. It's very conservative. That was a rollout pass. Either throw the ball away or throw it short like he did to John L. Williams there.
And it's a 2nd down and 8 at the 8-yard line for the Steelers. The tight end Eric Green making the catch in traffic and has a first down. 3rd catch of the day for Green. Pepper Johnson on the stop.
Marv, he catches the ball at the 9-yard mark. But watch this after he catches it. He doesn't have the first down yet, but he does now. He catches it at the line of scrimmage, and watch this load. They've got to hit him on both sides. 2 linebackers, Stamps and Pepper Johnson, and he still gets the first down.
Pittsburgh first down at the 18-yard line. Foster. This time he is stopped. Michael Dean Perry and Carl Banks involved on the tackle. We have not called Michael Dean Perry's name.
No, he's caught up in the middle of that line, and you're sitting there on Damani Dawson. Now sitting in the middle is Michael Dean Perry. Here he is sitting right over here, and we'll watch what he does. Damani Dawson is 63. Michael Dean cuts back to the inside. He is the cutback man. He sits in there and waits and comes back and makes the play. He just threw his body. Actually tackled Foster with his back. That's hard to do.
Yes. 112 yards on the ground for Foster on 20 carries. O'Donnell couldn't find anyone and then throws it away. Just did release it. Pressure from Rob Burnett, man who led the Browns with 10 sacks.
O'Donnell is hurt. Now Michael Dean Perry, here he comes, 92. Watch the attention he gets. They push him to the outside. They block him. 2 guys are blocking him. He gets cut. He's the guy that forces O'Donnell back out. Now the reason that this is not throwing the ball away, intentional grounding, is because Neil O'Donnell threw the ball at the marker at the line of scrimmage to the outside, and you're allowed to do that. Neil O'Donnell's still limping.
Yeah, he's come up hobbling. 3rd down and 8 at the 20-yard line. Michael Dean Perry with only 1 tackle to this point. Nice catch made at the marker. A bullet thrown by O'Donnell to Andre Hastings, who comes up with his first reception. Hastings, 2nd-year man from Georgia, who has been in the game plan more and more as the season has progressed.
Andre Hastings, you better catch this because he almost threw it through him. Watch this. Watch where this ball comes. You talk about zipping in and it hits him, bang, right in the chest. The ball is there. No chance for Hairston to knock the ball down. Well, look at this. It sticks him right in the shoulder. Bam. What a good throw and catch.
And a first down at the 29-yard line. 7.5 left in the third. Foster ripping through Eric Turner, and then Turner able to get him down with some help. He went for 11 and another first down.
Marv, they just seal everything off to the inside, and watch Foster. He looks, it's an inside play. He just takes it right off the tackle, right off to the outside. Everything's sealed. The first person he sees is the safety, Eric Turner. They just seal. Watch all the way down the line. They'll seal it. Hold it right here, guys. They're going to kick out here, but everything else is black shirts. Here it goes. Look at that. There's no chance.
First down at the 40-yard line. That's Bills in motion. Foster to the other side. And gets to the 44-yard line. The outside linebacker, Frank Stamps, making the stop.
The Steelers on this drive here coming downfield, running the ball, controlled passes. They are running the clock. He's just saying, hey, just keep running the clock. If you watch the play clock, they're running that thing down to 3 and 4 seconds. They're waiting. Here's the play clock inserted. He'll get up to the line of scrimmage. He scrimmage to Neil O'Donnell. And watch this. 8.
No reason to hurry with a 21-point lead. It's down to 2 as they run the play. Bam Morris. Short pickup. Pepper Johnson and James Jones combined to make the tackle. Barry Foster, 127 yards, 23 carries, the NFL playoff record. 246 yards by Eric Dickerson. Did it as a member of the Los Angeles Rams against the Dallas Cowboys in 1985. Still a long way to go, but Foster off to the terrific start, 99 yards in the first half. And Steelers certainly figure to keep it on the ground here in the second half with the big lead. It's a 3rd down and 5 at the 45-yard line. John L. Williams. Terrific blocking off the inside handoff and run out finally by the free safety Eric Turner, and that's good for 17.
Well, I got to tell you what, Damani Dawson, first of all, we're going to show you this. Damani Dawson first, and then John Jackson, 65 to tackle. Hold on a second, let me just show you this guy, and watch this guy up here. He's the blocker out front. It really doesn't have to hit anybody. Look at Damani Dawson. Hold it right there. He makes this block inside. Now here comes Jackson to the outside. Watch what happens. He doesn't really have to block. Everybody's down. Damani Dawson does the job. He's just hanging on. Isn't that nice?
Very impressive by John L. Williams. Noted as a pass receiver out of the backfield, but today he's run twice for 43 yards. First down at the Cleveland 43. And O'Donnell completes. Was he out of bounds? Yes, he was. Mills with the catch. Involved with Tim Jacobs, but he caught it out of bounds.
You know, Marv, let's talk for a second about Neil O'Donnell, the job he's done today. He reads the blitz and he throws the ball. Now here it is to Mills. He's up in the air. He comes down 1 foot. I don't know if he'd have gotten that a foot inbounds. But the one thing we talked to Ron Earhart, look at here. Here it is. Bang. He might have been able to get that foot in, but the officials were standing there. They just say, no, you're out of bounds. But Neil O'Donnell, Ron Earhart, he said, tell us about him. Capsulize him for us. He said, we want him to just complement the offense. And today, he has complemented his offense.
And then some.
Oh, yeah, he has done the job. What a great day he is having.
We asked Bill Cowher about Neil O'Donnell, and he pointed out, he said that Neil's major attribute is that he's handled what he labeled as the uneasiness thrown at him extremely well. Uneasiness, good word for it, from outside the team. In other words, he's heard it from the crowd from time to time. A little mix-up there as Morris and O'Donnell ran into each other. Michael Dean Perry coming up with the tackle along with Pepper Johnson.
Bam just bammed the quarterback.
Yes, he did, yes.
You know, you really don't know whose fault that is. Neil O'Donnell, I want to blame it on Bam because he's been flawless. Just blame it on Bam. He turns around. Here it is. Neil O'Donnell, Bam, Morse right behind him. He turns around and look at this play. Now, I think, all right, hold on. If you're looking at the blocking and you look at John L. Williams, 22 going to the left, Bam is going to the right. He's going the wrong way. It is Bam, Morse's fault. 2nd and 12 of the 28, a drive that has lasted better than 7 minutes. 13th play of the drive. O'Donnell able to stay in the pocket and incomplete. Nearly connected with Eric Green, who was covered by Carl Banks. Carl Banks quits on the play. Green does not. Green almost makes the catch. He almost gets there. It's like Carl Banks is looking at the ball's thrown too far, but not according to the big man. Here he comes. Banks is on him. Watch this. Banks sees him move to the outside, and he's like, okay, well, you can't get it. I'll put my hand up. But Green makes a dive. You feel this thing shake a little bit when he hit?
No.
4 guys fell down on the sideline. He just rumbled down. 280. If he's 280, I'm 100 pounds.
3rd down and 12 at the 28-yard line. 3:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Screenplay for John L. Williams, but does not get much.
This screenplay took a long, long time. They ran a middle screen to the fullback, John L. Williams, and Neil O'Donnell waited and waited and waited. But the reason this thing didn't work is because O'Donnell, when he went back that deep, he went back right away. He showed screen.
Well, they're 6 yards short of a first down, 4th down and 6, and the crowd applauds as Gary Anderson steps on. So rare to hear going for a field goal being applauded, but I guess with a 24-3 lead, you'll hear the chant from the crowd. And Anderson from 40 yards away, that's the official call, is able to put it through, and it extends to a 27-3 Steeler advantage.
Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, the final piece of the divisional playoff race. Dan Marino is on a mission to lead the Dolphins back to the Super Bowl for the first time in a decade. But in his way stand Junior Seau, Stan Humphries, and the AFC West champion San Diego Chargers. The final stop before the AFC Championship, Sunday on NBC.
Down to 2:35 remaining in the third quarter, and the Pittsburgh Steelers now lead the Cleveland Browns 27-3. Kickoff by Anderson to the combination of Baldwin and Metcalf, played by Metcalf. Out to the 20 and spins across the 25. Taken down by Carnell Lake. A 20-yard return by Metcalf. We'll be back in Pittsburgh in a moment. Well, a very long day for the Modell family. Art Modell, owner and president. Behind him, his son David, vice president of the ball club. Art has been the Browns owner for 34 years. Admits he is obsessed with the Browns making it to the Super Bowl. Art says we've been a play away, a tackle away, a tip ball away from going to the big game. Many plays away here thus far this afternoon. Testaverde to a wide open Michael Jackson. And that's good for 23. It is hit by Myron Bell, and a first down for the Browns.
The Browns obviously have to score, but they have to score in this quarter, in the third quarter. Not necessarily in this drive, but in this possession right here. I mean, they've got to put points on the board in the third quarter. Because once Pittsburgh gets the ball back, they're going to run another 6 or 7 minutes off.
First down at midfield with just under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. It took a hop, scooped up by Jackson. It is incomplete. He was covered again by Deion Figures.
Well, the forgotten man is Derek Alexander, and he dropped 2 balls, granted, but don't forget about him in the game. The guy is got great speed. He's a good player. He's also on the sideline.
Derek Alexander with 2 drops early in the game that took the Browns out of a couple of drives. Several drops by the Browns early. Metcalf taking that pitch. Could not work to the outside. Closed off by the perennial Pro Bowler left corner Rod Woodson. It'll be a third down and 9.
You know, we saw the Pittsburgh Steelers linemen coming out blocking their tackles. I want you to watch this play here. They try to run a sweep here to the outside. Hold on just a second right there, guys. This guy right here is Tony Jones. Watch what he does. Here's the difference in the 2 teams. Didn't block anybody.
And Testaverde was almost picked off. Pass intended for Michael Jackson. And Chad Brown got a piece of it.
They're going to punt the ball here. They have to. I mean, they're at the 50-yard line. They haven't. And now Testaverde is talking about, wait a minute, let's go for it. But the problem is now the play clock is starting to get down. You're in 15 seconds and counting. He's got to call a play, get him in the line of scrimmage, get the guys on the right side. They've got one of the guys on the punt team on the field, Hairston, and they got to get him off. Testaverde's going to have to call a timeout. Now you waste the timeout on top of it.
Stacey Hairston is a backup cornerback. Timeout was taken. A minute 34 left in the third. Yes, the terrible towels are back. Back to the glory days of the Steelers in the 1970s. A minute 34 left in the third quarter.
Well, Pittsburgh actually called a timeout, and I'll have to explain why.
Fourth down and 10. Testaverde deflected and kept alive by Michael Jackson, but a penalty marker is thrown. Woodson got a piece of it. Jackson on the deflection.
Biner caught the ball. He's in Pittsburgh territory picking on people. You know, if you're going to pick on somebody, pick on them in front of your bench, not in front of their bench. But I said Cleveland called a timeout. Pittsburgh did. There is a pass interference play on here. But Pittsburgh called a timeout because they had their punt return team on it, and Cleveland came back with their regular team, so they had to call timeout.
We have been penalty free.
Illegal contact, number 26 defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, that's called on Rod Woodson. This is not quite the impact of the immaculate reception, but the Browns will certainly take it.
Same part of the field. Here it is, Rod Woodson. Michael Jackson said he likes to play against it. Well, first of all, there's holding all the way down the field. He stops, and now he comes up and makes contact before the ball's in. He could have called him for two different things. Holding, Biner makes the catch, holding, or pass interference.
Metcalf looked like he would throw it downfield. It was actually an option. Metcalf took a look, and then he is hauled down by the combination of Figures and Lloyd.
And you can't go out here dancing against this defense. We've got another flag on the field. It is the #1 defense in the National Football League. And you come out here dancing, you're allowing all their quick guys to make contact with you. Now Metcalf comes out. He has Tony Jones out there blocking in front of him, but there's just too many black shirts, and you can't dance. You got to get to the hole now. Here we go.
We have offsetting personal fouls after the play. Personal foul 95, personal foul 66. They offset after the play, so the down counts. Second down.
That's the left tackle for the Browns, Tony Jones, number 66, number 95. The outside linebacker, Greg Lloyd of the Steelers.
Well, Bill Belichick, he wants first down. It was after the play, Bill. That's why they're calling it. He's saying personal fouls were created after the play.
Second down and 9. Testaverde going short range, and that is short of a first down. Metcalf stepping out of bounds. So Vinny Testaverde is now 9 of 23, only 92 yards, and he has been intercepted twice.
Now, this is where the coaches, Bill Cowher, like I said, calm down, boys. We've got this game in control. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get thrown out of the game. Let them do all the mouthing. Shut up and play football.
Third down and 4. 35 seconds to go, third quarter. That one sailed high, intended for McCardle, covered by McKyer.
Very high. Well, if they went for it on fourth down at the 50, they're going to go fourth down here. Field goals mean nothing in this ballgame. That one they kicked earlier meant nothing. But you can't stand around in a game like this, or any football game. Watch Testaverde throws, and bam! I mean, he gets hit right after he throws the football. Ray Seals, 97, gives him a shot, a legal shot.
Ray Seals has been a terrific pickup. Spent 5 years with Tampa Bay, signed with Pittsburgh as a free agent this season. Fourth down and 4 at the 29-yard line. Testaverde on the roll, chased by Green, and throws it away. And a flag is down.
Intentional grounding. Intentional grounding. Loss of down.
Well, it was fourth down. Bill Belichick is living. He's saying he's throwing the ball back at the line of scrimmage. He's running for his life.
Paul, do not read lips.
I don't.
I try to shield you from this type of language.
I know. But I mean, Testaverde, what I don't understand, he's running for his life, but it's fourth down. Don't throw the ball away. At least you're going to throw it down the field, even if you have to get it intercepted. At least it's further on down the field. You're giving the ball up.
There will be no foul. Incomplete pass. First down.
First down for the Steelers. Bill Belichick, that's the first time I've ever seen a coach win his case. I guess when you talk louder, you get your point across. But you couldn't call intentional grounding on the play because Testaverde was throwing the ball at the marker down the field. See, here comes Testaverde. Now he's outside the pocket. As long as he throws the ball towards the marker. See the marker right there on the left-hand side, 4th down marker? That's right where he's throwing the football. Tim McKyer is there, but you're allowed to do that.
Bill Belichick in the face of the head linesman, Ernie France. But he has seen his Browns give the ball back on downs. 28 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh first down from their 30. They lead 27-3. Foster picking his way out to the 35-yard line. James Jones, Frank Stams with the wraps on Foster, who has now run for 133. A pickup of 6. It'll be a 2nd down and 4, but time is running out in the 3rd quarter. The Steelers hearing it from the crowd at Three Rivers. They lead the Browns 27-3.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
The Pittsburgh Steelers breaking it open. 21 points in the 2nd quarter. As this 4th quarter gets underway, they are up 27-3. 2nd down and 4 at the 36-yard line. Bam Morris with a short pickup, stopped by James Jones. Well, from the Cleveland Brown point of view, with nothing going on offensively and certainly defensively, if you're Bill Belichick, do you consider making a change to the veteran Mark Rippon?
I mean, you got to do it sometime. You're in the 4th quarter now. I mean, Vinny Testaverde has been totally ineffective. So you got to do something to spark your football team. Now, is the question, is it quarterback? Obviously not at this point, because he's not even loosening up.
That is if the Browns get the ball back the way the Steelers have controlled matters. Andre Hastings, and he coughed it up. The officials checking it out. It's recovered by the Steelers. So they pick up additional yardage on the fumble. Andre Hastings with his 2nd reception.
Andre Hastings in this reception here, watch, he's just trying to get a little bit more, and then the ball is knocked out by Don Griffin, number 28, and who gets it back? Mills? Take pen.
It's Andre Hastings, 3rd-round draft pick last year out of Georgia. Steve Everett, starting center for the Cleveland Browns. First down at the 44-yard line. Morris hurdling over a couple of players, stopped by Frank Stams. Moore's the ball carrier.
Well, the guy that makes the play is Stephon Moore. He comes up number 27. He just comes up and strips the interference in front and enables the rest of the defense to come in and help out just by forcing the play. That's something that we hadn't seen in this ball game.
Pittsburgh controlling the ball for 31.5 minutes. 384 yards in all, 201 rushing yards over the first 3 quarters, led by the combination of Foster and Morris. 2nd down and 7 at the 47-yard line. Morris and Williams in the backfield, and it's Morris again. But the cut gets to the 48, met there by James Jones. Recapping the scoring, Gary Anderson on a 39-yard field goal in the 1st quarter off a 7.5-minute drive gave the Steelers a 3-0 lead. O'Donnell connected with the tight end Green on a 2-yard touchdown pass. Another long drive. Pittsburgh led 10-0. John L. Williams, 26-yard touchdown run, extending to 17-0 in the 2nd quarter. The Browns picking up 3 points on a 22-yarder by Matt Stover. O'Donnell to Thigpen, 9-yard touchdown pass play. Pittsburgh led 24-3, set up by the interception by McKyer, and then Gary Anderson hit from 40. And it's been all Steelers. Bam Morris, the intended receiver. And the punting unit checking in. Here's Mark Royals, who has had a very quiet day, only his 3rd punt. Carrier dropping back. Carrier lets it roll to the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. That's a 48-yard punt. 12 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Acura. Some things are worth the price. By Coca-Cola Classic. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola. And by IBM.
Well, this has not been a favorite playing site for the Cleveland Browns. They lost their first 16 times they played here in Pittsburgh before breaking through in 1986. They won 4 in a row at one stretch, but they have lost the last 5 times here at Three Rivers, and they're trailing badly, 27-3. The Browns take over at their 20-yard line. Testaverde completed. Hooking up with Keenan McCardle, Carnell Lake on the stop.
They'll give you this all day long because what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing with their 4 defensive backs, and they're just dropping them off. They have 5 defensive backs in the game, and they're just dropping the safeties deep and letting Cleveland have the underneath.
And it's 2nd down and 4, incomplete. Off the double coverage, Carnell Lake with a good hit on Keenan McCardle. Carnell Lake, a linebacker in college, made the transition to strong safety in a big way.
Now, Tim McKyer is here, Marvin. Keenan McCardle comes down, but watch who comes into the play. Carnell Lake. You see that move? He lets the back go out into the flat, and he comes back in and helps out underneath, and that's his job on a wide receiver. Excellent coverage by the defensive secondary. This is a great secondary.
3rd and 4. Metcalf is stopped back behind the line. Chad Brown, who has been outstanding, making the stop on Eric Metcalf.
And the Browns will punt it away. Look at Metcalf. I mean, you're trying to surprise here. You still have to throw the football.
Metcalf, 4 carries, 5 yards. That has been it. Tom Tupa from his 10. Woodson back at his 30-yard line. Nowhere to go. Randy Baldwin is right on the scene. A 45-yard punt by Tupa.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and order Domino's new buffalo wings, and we'll deliver them with your favorite pizza. When it's got to be good, it's got to be Domino's.
Marv Albert, Paul McGuire back in Pittsburgh, down to 10 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And the Steelers would like to just run the clock with that commanding 27-3 lead on the Browns. They start out from their 30-yard line. It has been a superb game for quarterback Neil O'Donnell. Bam Morris with the call. And Morris breaking tackles, refusing to go down.
You talk about continuous effort. Bam Morris, I mean, this is all him. He gets hit 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage and then picks up about 9. Folks, watch this. Watch his legs. They just don't stop. He's hit. His legs are moving. He's hit. His legs are moving. He gets hit. His legs are moving. They just don't stop. That's a continuous motion.
Goes for 9, sets up a 2nd down and 1. What a season it's been for the combination of Foster and Morris. The NFL's best rushing combo, 1,687 yards total during the regular season. And it's Morris again able to slip ahead for the first down. Pepper Johnson and Carl Banks on the stop. Well, tomorrow, join NBC Sports as the AFC Divisional Playoffs continue, starting 3:30 Eastern Time. Dan Marino going up against Stan Humphries, Dick Enberg, and Bob Trumpy. We'll bring it to you, and it certainly appears that it will be the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting against the winner of Miami and San Diego. Next weekend, down at the 41-yard line. Morris to the other side. And Morris is collared by Rick Lyle. Well, Pittsburgh and San Diego last met. Last game of the regular season, should it be the Chargers knocking off the Dolphins. They met at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. And it was Natron Means and both teams' offenses that got the attention on this day. The Chargers won the game late in the fourth quarter, setting the stage for a possible rematch next week. Chargers in a high-scoring game, certainly where Pittsburgh is involved, won at 37-34, but a game that saw Lloyd Woodson and Eric Green sitting it out. Barry Foster played only the first quarter.
Number 73 offense. 5 yards. Second down.
All right, they'll march it off 5 yards. The penalty call on the right guard, Justin Strelzik. Now, should it be the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers? You go back to week 12, and defense dominated in their one regular season meeting. But at the end, it was Gary Anderson's leg that proved to be the difference. Pittsburgh winning in overtime, 16-13. So it will be either Miami or San Diego making the trip to Three Rivers Stadium. Unless there is one of the miracle comebacks in NFL history with the Steelers up by the score of 27-3 and 8 minutes now remaining in this fourth quarter.
You know, when I look at that matchup, I think that the San Diego Chargers do match up better with the Pittsburgh Steelers than the Miami Dolphins do, because of Natron Means in the running game. That San Diego has that big offensive line, and in order to beat the Steelers, you know, when you look at this defensive secondary, it's very difficult to just throw against these guys because they're going to give you some looks and they're going to pick off some balls. I think in order to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, you really effectively have to run against them, and I think that's what San Diego brings to the table.
Third down and 12 at the 34. Morris seeing much action on this series. Stopped by the strong safety Stephon Moore. More a question mark today because of an ankle problem, but he has been able to go. And the punting unit will check in.
Ron Earhart said something to us the other day. Between Foster and Bam Morris, they had to carry the balls 30 sometime, right?
32.
Well, between the two of them, they carried the ball 41 times. And he said, if they do that, we will win. And they did that, and they're winning.
All right, Metcalf and Carrier are back awaiting the punt from Royals. What an enormously disappointing conclusion this is to the Cleveland Browns. A team that began the season at 6-1. At one point they won 5 in a row. It's Carrier bottled up. They never lost 2 games in a row, and they finished by winning 2 out of 3, including a victory in Dallas. Finished up 11-5, win the wild card last week, but a dreadful day today.
I'm Greg Gumbel back in New York with a reminder. During halftime of tomorrow's Miami-San Diego game, we'll bring you the national finals of the punt, pass, and kick competition. In the 12-year-old division, Kendra Wecker of Marysville, Kansas, is the first girl to make it to the finals. We'll bring you her story and show her in the competition tomorrow at halftime. Right now, back to Pittsburgh and rejoin Marv Albert and Paul McGuire.
Thank you, Greg. 6:36 to go in this fourth quarter. The Pittsburgh Steelers on their way to the AFC Championship game. 27-3 over the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns start out from their 27-yard line. Testaverde with lots of time. Diving catch by Jackson. And a flag thrown. Jackson was out of bounds.
Offside by the defense.
Offside. Defensive nose tackle. 5 yards. First down.
Defensive nose tackle. He has no number.
Well, Greg Lloyd told us yesterday after practice that he felt the Steelers would do a better job against Vinny Testaverde than the Patriots did. He felt that New England did not pressure Testaverde well. You have to make him rush his decisions. Pass thrown behind Carrier. And it has certainly been a different story for Testaverde here this afternoon. 10 of 28, 99 yards, 2 interceptions. And it did not start on the right track with at least 4 drops by the Browns, 2 by the rookie Derek Alexander.
But if you take a look at Testaverde, you said that New England didn't pressure him. The Steelers only pressured him a couple of times in this game. He's had time to throw, and he's had drop balls, bad passes, bad decisions.
2nd down and 5. Testaverde going deep, and it's incomplete. Flags the throw. Michael Jackson involved with the right corner, Dion Figures.
Dion Figures is not going to like the call, but they're going to call pass interference against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Defensive pass interference, number 21. 1st down.
Michael Jackson is coming back to the ball because the ball is a little underthrown. Here's Michael Jackson. He is by Figures now. But see, he has to wait and come back. And when he does that, Figures grabs him by the shirt. There's no question about the call. Testaverde, he just doesn't seem to get enough drive into the ball. He doesn't step up. He's throwing the ball flat-footed.
In effect, that's a 35-yard penalty. Metcalf coming out of the backfield. That's the first time the Browns have attempted that. Carnell Lake made the stop. It's a 12-yard advance and another 1st down for Cleveland.
But again, the defensive secondary, they're playing way off. They're giving you the middle of the field.
1st down at the 20-yard line. Testaverde to the end zone. Touchdown. Keenan McCardle on a post pattern for the first touchdown of the day for the Browns. A 20-yard pass play.
Quiet in here. It's very quiet. You know, it'll probably end up 27-10 after they kick the extra point. But, you know, that was a nice drive. It took a little over a minute in the drive. But that's because the secondary sits back and they let you do whatever you have to do. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers, the way they've been controlling the football, 5 minutes and 53 seconds, they could virtually eat up the entire clock.
Well, Keenan McCardle did not have a touchdown reception throughout the regular season. Browns going for the 2-point conversion. Testaverde to the back of the end zone, and it is ruled. Let's see. And he had possession inbounds. No signal. The officials discussing it. McCardle claimed he had it before he bobbled the ball and then lost it.
He had possession of the ball when he hit the ground, but again, as he hit the ground, did he have possession while he was in bounds in the back of the end zone? There's only 2 guys that can see it. The 2 that are talking. Michael Jackson saying, hey, it's only 2 points.
No point. Ball was bobbled. The ball was bobbled.
Well, he didn't win that argument. Here is the pass. Now watch. Keenan McCardle bobbling the ball. He doesn't have it here. He doesn't have it. He has it there, but his knees are out of the end zone. Good call.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your authorized Aurora retailers.
Out of 5:53 remaining in the 4th quarter. I know it's balmy, but not quite that balmy.
Or bomb.
Yes. Steelers 27 and the Browns 9.
Onside kick.
Matt Stover teeing it up.
Notice how they lay it in front of the tee on the ground.
He's covered up by the Steelers, and that's Eric Green, who was able to fall on the ball and maintain possession.
The ball did not go 10 yards, so actually he didn't have to touch it. See, it has to go at least to the 40. Watch where Eric Green gets the ball. The ball is not 10 yards, but he has the right to go get it. If the Browns touch it before it goes 10 yards, then it's kicked over again.
So a first down at the 39-yard line, and Mike Tomczak has come on at quarterback for Neil O'Donnell. And what a job by O'Donnell this afternoon. 16 of 23, 186 yards. And it's Tomczak. Steve Avery also in the backfield for the first time today. Rick Lyle, rookie from Missouri, made the stop. Mike Tomczak filled in for Neil O'Donnell, came up with a couple of quality games, winning both. Mike, a one-time Cleveland Brown, spent a year with the Browns, 6 years with the Bears. This is second season with Pittsburgh. Neil O'Donnell now looking to next week, and the Steelers will face either the Dolphins or the Chargers. Bam Morris picked up a yard. Pepper Johnson making the stop. It will be a long ride, at least long for what, 130 miles for the Cleveland Browns back home, making the trip here from Pittsburgh.
A little over 2 hours, and it seemed like an eternity.
Vinny Testaverde not able to do it as he did a week ago, coming off his best performance of the season against the New England Patriots. The season concluding for the Cleveland Browns. Inside handoff to Morris, and he's hit for a loss by Dan Footman. So a lot of shuffling on both sides of the ball with time running out, and a timeout is called by the Browns. 4:27 remaining in this fourth quarter. Reminder, tomorrow the AFC Divisional Playoffs continue. It gets underway 3:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live, and then Dan Marino leading the Dolphins against San Diego, taking on the AFC West champion Chargers. The winner will be here in Pittsburgh next week. Tomorrow, NFL Live will kick it off at 3:30 Eastern Time. There are the fellas.
Suit people.
Greg Gumbel hosting in the studio with Ahmad Rashad, Mike Ditka, and Joe Gibbs. Miami went 10-6 during the regular season. Last week beat Kansas City in the wild card. San Diego at 11-5, but they stumbled home after that 6-0 start. Barely hung on for home field advantage. Carrier back awaiting the punt from Royals. Lets it bounce inside the 15-yard line. 31-yard punt. The Browns offense back on the field as we approach 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter.
You know, the Cleveland Browns, that first drive they had the ball, they went down, and you know, we're not going to kill Derrick Alexander, but here's a guy that drops 2 passes. They were in a drive. They were moving so smoothly. They ran the ball in the drive. They threw the ball very well, and 2 drop passes that would have been first downs. And after that, they never got on track to do anything else. And again, credit the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but offensively, the Steelers just ran over Cleveland, around them and through.
Browns first down from their 14-yard line. And as you say, a lot of space being given the Cleveland receivers. Michael Jackson, Greg Lloyd, late hit, penalty flags being thrown.
Another penalty flag being thrown. If they turn to the stands, they could have like 60,000 of those yellow babies down here, because these guys have been waving them all day. They better hope they don't put golf balls in them and start throwing them.
And we are involved in what is developing as an ugly finish. A lot of chatter.
No foul, unnecessary roughness, 87 defense. 87 offense. 87 offense, correct.
Don't you love the guy sitting there listening? Defense, what are you nuts?
Second down after the play. Second down.
Yes, that's Keenan McCardle.
All right, Keenan McCardle is number 87. Look at this shot. I mean, he jumped forward left the ground to make that shot, and that is a cheap shot. So when you see a shot like that, you know, you throw a guy out for hitting a guy with his fist. When you see a shot like that and you're standing there.
Continuing action, we'll repeat first down, penalize half the distance to the goal line.
He wants him thrown out of the game. See, I agree. I think on a cheap shot like that, throw the guy out of the ball game. Because it's uncalled for. You got a guy standing there. The play is already over. And then here a guy comes in and leaves his feet and hits him with his head. Watch this shot here. Look at this. He leaves his feet and just drills him. And the officials are, yeah, you throw the flag, throw him out.
So the Browns now back at their 13-yard line. It is a 1st and 11 at the 13. Testaverde taken down. First sack of the day by a club that led the NFL with 55 sacks. This will be a combination of Brenston Buckner and Kevin Green receiving credit.
You give all three guys credit. Testaverde, I mean, you got to understand, you can't stay back there this long and expect these guys to protect you. Kevin Green is the guy that forced Testaverde up. And when he did that, then they just labeled him.
2nd and about 20 at the 4. Metcalf trying to run out of there. Cannot. It's Buckner stopping Metcalf. There's Brenston Buckner, rookie out of Clemson, a 2nd-round draft pick who struggled at the start of the year. Been on the overweight side, but has come on strong.
He has done a great job with this team. You know, if you take a look at this entire defensive team, the best team defense in the National Football League, these guys know their position and they play it extremely well. They don't do things they really don't do things out of the ordinary. They play their position. They don't ask them to do anything different.
3rd down and 20. Testaverde is taken down for a safety. Carnell Lake and Kevin Green getting to the quarterback. It is a safety and add 2 more points to the Pittsburgh Steelers total.
I mean, when you sit there, you wonder. You really wonder what goes through Vinny Testaverde's mind when he's back there in the end zone like that. First of all, look at the time. Here comes Kevin Green again. He steps up. Look at the time, and he's standing there waiting. You've got to throw the ball away. You're standing in the end zone, and then Carnell Lake comes in and makes the play. Kevin Green is the guy that forces it. Watch this. Inside. You think he ever quits? He's going to the quarterback. They're going to throw. I'm coming after you. And he's down, picks up his leg. Carnell Lake 37 is going to get it. Watch Kevin Green. He's down on the ground. Now watch who ends up picking up Testaverde's leg. Green.
Carnell Lake, who has made it to the Pro Bowl for the first time, one of the premier strong safeties in the NFL, coming up with the 2nd sack of the day by the Steelers, who are hearing it again from this capacity crowd at Three Rivers. The Steelers now lead the Browns 29-9, and they set up for the free kick.
Yeah, they have Tom Tupa in here, and this is where you make the free kick. I don't know if I can ever remember an onside kick after a safety. But you look at it, they had an onside kick from the 30. It's only another 10 yards.
If anyone would remember, it would be a one-time punter. Woodson is the lone deep man. Let's see how Tupa handles it. Woodson on the return and goes down at the 35-yard line with 2:35 to go in this 4th quarter. The Steeler defense putting on a performance, and once again words exchanged. Hear the crowd reacting. All right, for more on the Steeler defense. Let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Well, Mara, you notice how the Steeler defense retained their intensity throughout the whole game. They're all wearing these T-shirts underneath their uniforms. Gray Seals made them for the defense. 60-minute men. That is the nickname that they were given by Levon Kirkland earlier in the season. They take a lot of pride in playing the full 60 minutes. Now, it doesn't quite have the ring of the Steel Curtain defense, but if they keep playing like this, the nickname might just catch on.
All right, Hannah. I think it needs a little work. A little marketing work, huh?
Need some more pictures of it.
Yeah. First down at the 35-yard line for the Steelers. And here's Bam Morris, who has played a good portion of the second half. Pepper Johnson made the stop. Barry Foster, 133 yards on 24 carries, and Bam Morris chipping in with 53 yards on 20 carries. As we approach the 2-minute mark, I'd like to thank the executive producer of NBC Sports, Tommy Roy, the coordinating producer of the NFL on NBC, John Ferratzis, the producer of today's telecast, David Neal, our director, Andy Rosenberg, statistician Elliot Cal, Mr. Stats himself, with an appearance here at Three Rivers, and thanks to our spotters Michael Gluck and Steve Solomon. Timeout has been called with 2:18 remaining in this fourth quarter. So much talk here in Pittsburgh comparing the Steel Curtain defense of the 70s, some familiar names, some great names in NFL lore down through the years, comparing it with the defense of the present day Pittsburgh Steelers. A look at some of the numbers back in '74 on a per game basis. The Steelers allowed only 13.5 points per game. This year's version, 14.5. Joe Green, 9 sacks. In '74, you see the comparison with Kevin Green, although Kevin, of course, doing it from the linebacker position. Bam Morris on the carry. And now the clock rolling towards 2 minutes. Mike Caldwell, backup linebacker, made the stop, and we now have 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Pittsburgh is on its way to the AFC Championship game. Back in Pittsburgh, the Steelers with a 29-9 beating of the Cleveland Browns. They have been celebrating the last few moments on the sidelines. Only 2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. When we pick it up, it will be a 3rd down and 5 for the Steelers at the 40-yard line. Paul, you know, including the playoffs, you look at the Cleveland Brown record for the season. They lose 6 games in all, 3 of the 6 to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, it really is scary that the team has dominated them this much.
Mike Tomczak running for the first down. A lot of talk going into today. Can a team win 3 out of 3 in one season? And you look back since the year 1970. Here's the Gatorade attack on Bill Cowher. They get him from behind.
He doesn't care.
No, I don't think so. Since 1970, 8 teams have had the chance to eliminate a division opponent in the playoffs after winning twice in the regular season.
His wife, she loves it.
That's Kay Cowher and the Cowher contingent rooting on the Gatorade attack. Off the draw, Morris stopped by Caldwell. And the employee owners of Avis salute the game's most valuable player. And that is Barry Foster, the winner of today's We Try Harder Award. Avis, the official rental company of the National Football League, honoring Barry Foster, who had a brilliant day. 24 carries, 133 yards. We are down to 35 seconds remaining. You know, just last season, the Raiders beat Denver 3 times, and of course Chicago did it to Minnesota last week the other way after they were beaten twice by the Vikings, but it's 3 out of 3 for Bill Cowher and his Steelers over the Browns. The Cleveland Browns season has ended. The Pittsburgh Steelers move on to the AFC Championship game. A game that will be played here at Three Rivers next week. Rod Woodson, who had another excellent game for Art Modell, not a happy journey to Pittsburgh. The Cleveland Browns, who went 11-5 in the regular season, very impressive last week with the win over the red-hot New England Patriots, but fall short. They could not get anything going here this afternoon against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who won it 29-9. Let's go down to the field. Here's Will McDonough with Rod Woodson.
Thanks very much, Rod. There seem to be such hard feelings between these two clubs. What's the reason for it?
Well, you know, it's the playoffs and it's a do-or-die situation. In this type of atmosphere, all the feelings and everything comes out. Sometimes it's overboard, but you can't take anything in your own backyard. We played well, and we got one more game to go to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, let's talk about your defense today. You seem to have everything in hand, particularly the way you were reading Vinny and what they could do.
You know, I think the week off helped us out a great deal. Dom Capers and the defensive staff put a great game plan together, and all we did is execute it when we came out here today.
Okay, Rod, thanks very much. Good luck next week. Take care. Okay, go to Hannah.
All right, I'm here with Neil O'Donnell. Neil, it was so important early, that mix on offense, of being able to establish that passing game. How were you guys able to move the ball easily on that great defense?
Well, we knew coming in that they have, big 7 front up there. They're very talented, good defense. We knew coming in we had to mix up the run and pass. And I tip my hat to Ron Earhart because he called a great game and he really left that defense guessing a lot.
Okay, Will McDonough's over there with Earhart right now, so let's go to Will and the coach.
Okay, thank you, Hannah. Ron, it seemed as though you had them off guard early in the game with a lot of the formations you ran, especially some of the weak side stuff.
We thought we could get a real good mix, Will, early in the ball game, and they stayed pretty much the way we thought. I mean, they've had good success in the past, and our quarterback really played real well today. And our running game, we just felt if we could go with the big tight ends, we'd be okay, and it worked out well.
Yeah. I talked to Nick Saban before the game, their defensive coordinator. He said if they wanted to beat you, they had to take away your run on first down. They couldn't do that.
They couldn't do that. We felt that's one thing we had to keep alive, but we did want to get a good mixture there, Will, not just show them the run. And I think that sort of maybe, had them a little jumpy, made some changes, but really pleased the way we played today.
You did a good job. Thanks very much, Ronnie. Now let's go back to Hannah.
All right, enough from the offense. Let's get to the defense. And one of the stars, Darren Perry. Let's see, you had intercepted Vinny 3 times in a game earlier this year and another pickoff today. How is the offense so effective in mixing up a guy who was coming off a great game last week?
Well, we knew coming in that they had the potential to make some big plays, and we said coming into the game if we didn't give them anything cheap or any long pass plays, we'd have a good chance of winning. We mixed our coverages up really well. We said we had to disguise a lot. We did that today, and we were fortunate enough to make the plays when we had to.
What did it mean to you guys to beat a Browns team that had a lot of talk all week, a team that had said that they had simply beaten themselves, that your defense had not beaten them previously in the 2 games?
Well, we knew coming in there'd be a time that, you can do all the talking you want, but there comes a time we have to put up or shut up, and we just kept our mouths shut and said we do our talking on the field, and it was a great win for us today.
Now, you guys have been in a couple of different games. You got either Miami or San Diego coming up. You had that defensive battle, won in overtime in Miami. You lost against the Chargers. Which team would you guys like to see in a rematch next week?
It doesn't really matter right now. We're playing with a lot of confidence right now, and whoever shows up in Three Rivers, it'll be a tough battle for them, and we're looking forward to it, and we'll be up for the challenge.
First home playoff win for you guys in Pittsburgh in 10 years. Can you describe the emotion?
Oh, man, it's indescribable right now. Words can't describe it. It's our first playoff win, and everybody's just excited. The city, I know the team. I mean, I can't even describe the feeling right now. We're just going to enjoy it for today and then get ready for next week.
How confident are you guys? Super Bowl confident?
We hope so. We got one more step, and we're looking forward to it, and I think we can get there.
Okay, good job by the Steeler defense this afternoon. Congratulations. Let's go back out tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Hannah. And the offensive coordinator of the Steelers, Ron Earhart, mentioning the play of Neil O'Donnell. He finished 16 of 23, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the running game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 51 rushes, 238 yards. That comes out to just under 5 yards per carry. They were ripping up the Cleveland Browns. Final score, Steelers 29 and the Browns 9. And the Steelers go on to the AFC Championship game next Sunday here at Three Rivers. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's contest between Miami and San Diego. The NFL Live post-game report is coming up. Our coverage continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel back in New York. The Bears and the 49ers will not kick off until 4:05 Eastern Time. We have plenty of ground to cover between now and then here on the post-game show. We will send you back to Pittsburgh to hear from some of the victorious Steelers. We'll get post-game analysis from Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, and Randy Cross, and we'll preview the other AFC divisional playoff, tomorrow's battle between the Dolphins and the Chargers, as we hear from Miami linebacker Brian Cox, and we will talk about the two NFC divisional playoffs. Today's game matching Chicago and San Francisco. Tomorrow's between Green Bay and Dallas, and we will get started with all of that right after these words from your local station.
Next on Coach.
Is he dead? Well, he's either dead or he's for sale.
The team's groundskeeper has moved on to greener fields.
If it's any comfort, he went peacefully.
You know, like they're going to tell you if he screamed his head off.
It's up to Coach to keep things above ground.
Obviously, I'm his best friend in the whole wide world. Anybody know where he lived?
But he's left a few surprises.
Oh, boy, wait till you get a load of what's in here.
Coach.
Monday at 6:30 on News Channel 20.
This is the Head & Shoulders NFL Live post-game report. Brought to you by Head & Shoulders and Head & Shoulders 2-in-1.
Pittsburgh 29 and Cleveland 9. Welcome back to our studios here in New York. Greg Gumbel along with Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, and Randy Cross. First, this reminder, the AFC Championship site is now set. Pittsburgh will host either Miami or San Diego next Sunday. NFL Live at noon Eastern Time, the game at 12:30 Eastern. The Cleveland Browns have now lost 6 straight games in Pittsburgh. I want to go back to a question that Hannah Storm asked Mr. Perry at the end of the game. Is this team now Super Bowl confident that you can see?
Well, right now, Cleveland's got a lot of problems, I think. And I think Randy hit it right on the button. I think it's thinking you can do something and not knowing you can do it. You know, we said there were a lot of question marks coming in about Testaverde. I think it showed today. But the thing that really showed to me is they got completely away from their game plan and when they got behind in the game. They started throwing the ball. They started doing all the things they couldn't afford to do because they had to have some ball control to win the football game, and they didn't have it.
Yeah, the Browns seem to be shooting themselves in the foot, but do the Pittsburgh Steelers look to be a Super Bowl caliber team to you?
Well, I definitely think they do. And for this reason, Greg, I think teams are starting to develop their personality as the year goes along. We talked about that. This team is very tough. They run the football, and they play good defense. They did both those today. They're tough. They're also smart. They turned the ball over once today, but they normally have led the league in fewest turnovers. We talked about that before the game. And I think that's the kind of personality, that's the kind of team that can make it to a Super Bowl. I would say this, though, on Cleveland's half. This is a typical game. This is what I hate about the NFL. Right here, people will go ape. They'll go crazy. Because I had one of these games in the Super Bowl, last game of the year. People have a tendency, now they get down on Vinny, they get down on Belichick. I mean, that shouldn't happen. This team has made steady progress since Belichick's been there. Just hold your ground here. Don't panic. They didn't play well today. Wasn't their game. But I'm saying they have a good future here, and you don't want to make some irrational decisions based off one game.
All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers break a 3-game losing streak in postseason play, and it's their first AFC title game since after the 1984 season. How'd they look to you today?
I think they look great. To me, they physically match up with either Miami or San Diego. Fantastic. And more importantly, I think for the AFC, physically they match up really well with whoever comes out of the NFC because I think their style of defense, whether it's linebackers, defensive lines, or the way they match up in defensive backfield, matches up especially against the so-called high-powered offenses on the other side.
All right, Randy, the Pittsburgh Steelers will host the AFC Championship game next Sunday against the winner of tomorrow's Miami-San Diego game.